I'm just coming to you guys live to have a quick chat. It's really late, but I've had a few downloads and I wanted to share them with you. So I've got to speak quietly because everyone's asleep. I've had a few downloads in a sense that I feel a lot of people are feeling a little bit isolated. They're also feeling very concerned about where life is going, what's going on, and how things are going to evolve. Now, at the moment, you may find moving into the Pisces moon, there is this energy where the realm is very thin. There's a lot of air energy, there's the Uranian energy. Spirits also are very close. Now, my guides have given me some downloads. And, with the concerns and the things that you guys are going through, what you do need to understand, and it had been coming through from pretty much started up last year. It's really dark, so I'm outside and I'm being cheeky. But what my guides have been showing me is that what you need to understand is the realm's very thin at the moment. So if you're having anything ET like happening in your house, it's completely normal. You really need to get into a habit at the moment where you're clearing your energy in your home. So if it means getting rid of things, if it means getting to a point where you're actually clearing the house, bringing in good chi energy, be very mindful when you're going to different homes because you can actually, hi Ange, you can actually bring the energies in. I've had a lot of experience over the years of developing my psychic gift, as Ange knows. I've done some work at her house once upon a time. Look, when you're tuning into an energy that is depressing, we can actually embody that frequency. We all are psychic, but we don't understand how the gift works. We do need to be very mindful at the moment. We do have Aries and Chiron through to about 2024. And, this year it's going to be a very unique place for it to be. So it can become very energetically depleting. It's also we really have ended a decade cycle and maybe even more. Many people are feeling very exhausted. Many people are feeling like, can we go on? Are we going to be okay? I was joking with Giggle today and I said to her, we really need to make a comedy about this because, as readers and spiritual guides, we go through the same thing and we feel the same as what you do. And at times, all of us would like to energetically tap out and not have to do the work. And, how hard is it going to be? How bad is it going to be? I use the astrology to help you guys so that you guys can cope with the symptoms. And at times, yes, it is very disheartening to look at the astrology. But again, we all are a choice in our own vibration. Now, my guides have showed me that at the moment, what you might be finding is your loved ones who have passed over, you may be sensing their vibration. Now, the vibration of the souls that are passed over, because the realm is thin, we do need to be extremely mindful of where we're taking our mind. When you're getting to a point you're feeling very disheartened, it is okay to be in that energy. It's a natural process, but you do have to be very careful because we're all channels. And the energy that can come in will be both. It will be the yin and the yang. So if you're feeling that the energy is aggressive in the home and it's changed in frequency, you need to be doing clearing energies. And I'm going to be doing more videos this year, and I've scheduled that I'm going to try and get the videos up today. I am creating creative content as well. And it's more so that I can help you guys with the gift and the experience I've had to actually develop your psychic gifts, which are all innately in you, but understand some of the symptoms and things that are going on. So when we talk of ascension, you'll find at the moment with the Leo moon, we're still embodying that energy. So there is a lot of solar plexus. And it can create, it's taking us back to those childhood wounds, but at the same time, you'll have base chakra going on because next month Saturn is going to be going retrograde. Crown chakra is deeply activated because we are moving into the Pisces moon. And with the crown chakra, if you're really tuning into a situation that feels deeply frustrating, it can become very frightening. So, thanks, Dal. So, with that energy, you do need to be really, really careful. It's okay to do it. You just really need to get to a point where you take time out on that, because what can happen is your crown opens and then you're allowing darker energy to come in, and you can embody that person's energy. So it's, you need to be in a good vibration as a light worker. So also, be kind to the energies on YouTube that are doing their very best. They also need energy healing, and they have the Aries and Chiron frequency going on. And at times, through these ascension symptoms, we do get extremely tired, and we're trying to balance those energies to give you guys the best that we have. Using the tools that, readers give you, they're really beneficial for you. Ultimately, it's you who does the work. So, although we have this channel and we're very lucky to have the format of sharing these energies, it's also very important to understand your role in the situation and what you can do to actually change that. With the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, you may be finding at the moment you don't quite know which way to go. That is completely normal. You do need to be gentle with yourself right now. It's almost like we're having the death of an old life. So it does feel like nothing quite makes sense. It's a numbing energy where we don't know what to do. We don't know which way to go. We're not meant to run right now. We're meant to embody that energy, come to terms with it, so that we can usher in the new. With the nodes, I was talking to Giggle about it, and it's almost like we've been saying for 2.5 years, the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. And you've got to look at the comedy of things, lessons that we've learned, but there's deep lessons that we're moving into. With the nodes moving into Gemini and Sagittarius, it is going to change a lot of things around. So our value system, I have mentioned spiritually that the one thing that came up was codependency, enabling people, the victim perpetrator energy. And I've got to remember the channel. Giggle will put it on the video. She's good. She's like my angel too, I say. So if I remember, I will put the link to the channel below. She has a background in psychology. So apologies, it's just gone from my mind because I'm channeling. But also, with these patterns, the work that we do on ourselves spiritually, a lot of times, if you're going through ascensions or you have a psychic gift and, you're working through those things and you're working through adversity, it doesn't matter who you are on the planet, they're all tags, but ultimately we're all human and we will all go through these processes. We will see more people going through adversity, but only from the point that our paradigms have been deeply flawed. A lot of the way we've been having conditioning and our relationships has been due to childhood belief systems. We're ending those cycles. So the way we have relationships now, it's like universe is transforming to the point where we won't be able to have relationships unless we understand it's choices we make. We make choices to be with people. If we're at that reality where we feel very vibrationally stuck and we feel somehow we can manipulate the matrix, the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn have been shifting things, both at a financial and a spiritual level. Moving into the new nodal energy, which will be coming in May. I've been saying March. But again, you've got Saturn retrograding into Aquarius around that time, and that's about the collective. It's about the bigger picture and you uniquely, beautifully in your own energy. All of the planets are showing you directly what's already there. They're not making something happen. They're directly showing you an energy inside yourself through your spiritual transformation of what directly is different now and what would then need to happen. You can look at it like the laws of the universe. You get your epiphany moment. You're like, don't worry about it. And then you have a 3D thing come up, and it's a near miss, and you're thinking, yeah, I was thinking that, and then it comes to fruition. Alignment is all checking in with yourself in a day-to-day moment, and then saying to yourself, okay, does this resonate with me? Am I potentially seeing this as a situation? Do I need to directly address this? And it's all but you can do. When you're having a trigger, you also do need to be gentle on yourself. At the moment, a lot of feminine energies are very tight. Some of you may be very agitated. With the Black Moon Lilith and Aries, in an interesting way, between now and October, because we have Juno in Libra, we do need to be looking at things to the point where we understand we could have a very, very deep wound. There could have been a betrayal. There might have been, adversity, or there might have been disrespect done towards you. In a shadow aspect, very similar, Librans, their shadow side will be Aries. And at the moment, Aries is in Chiron for 8 years. And all of us collectively will be going through that frequency in a different house, but looking at our romances, connections, and contracts, and how we connect with people. The sign of Libra is one that connects and understands and tries to create balance and fairness. In looking at that, with Black Moon Lilith in Aries, it is a Mars energy. It's very fiery. It's interesting because I listened to a reader and she was talking about the fact that the Aries energy is the face, the head, the image we show to society, which is quite unique because when you are moving through an ascension process, you do get to the point that you detach from assets. You become very simplistic. You potentially can go to green eating. You detoxify, you purge friends, you change your mindset when it comes to your job. Now, many people that are maybe stuck in an unhappy job, it is a spiritual process. And it's a purge of those belief systems due to the way you were raised. If something vibrationally doesn't sit with you, it is perfectly okay. It just takes some time for your soul to actually come to terms with that. It's the same with a relationship. Sometimes we can have the best person in our life, but we potentially don't resonate with them, and it can be very awkward. If they're a person that is really toxic, even then, spiritually, if you had wounds at childhood, it can be a deeply traumatic experience to try and move through that situation, to get to the other side, to make peace with it. 9 times out of 10, especially for feminine energies, you have already checked out before you've walked out, because you don't want to move before you're trying to find peace. You're deeply angry at yourself. We do tend to punish ourselves more than what the person would, because you're trying to be true to yourself, but you also don't want to disappoint other people. We actually can't live for other people, because in reality, it is shifting it under the carpet, and at some point it's going to come up, because we can't vibrationally do things just for other people. When we do, it directly is a choice. Our mindset is very much we do owe people, and sometimes people can have that kind of statement in a term. It's never that you owe anyone. And with Aries and Chiron, Black Moon and Lilith, some trigger points between now and October. So when those things come up, we need to look at the shadow side of us. We all do have a shadow, and that's okay. It's more if it gets to that dark realm where you could cast a wound on another person due to a wound they've casted on you. And, it can become quite dangerous, especially with the Mars energy. So we do need to be very mindful. The scars that are inside of us can be very, very scarring. How we heal with them is by looking at them, and they will synchronistically come up time and time again. It does become challenging to try and find how to get that out. It's not necessarily that get out, but if you can look at it from an external point of view, and gradually as time goes by, you will look at it in a different level. You will look at it from a different point. Many times when I've been through my healing process, I would look at it from my own personal point of view, because I had to embody that. And then I would take it to an external view where I was looking at it through various lenses from the outside of me, where it was a safe place to view. And then looking at the other person and seeing potentially how some way in my life I had done something similar. Not necessarily 100% the same, but maybe, when we are stuck because we have wounds, we can't give. So if you've ever suffered a betrayal and the person hasn't given 100%, if they can't give that 100% to themselves, They're unable to give that to you, and that actually is not about you. But coming to terms with that and trying to understand that can be very, very painful, because we're conditioned at childhood that if we're good, we're good. If we're bad, we're bad. And then when things don't quite go according to plan, we subconsciously think it's something we've done. And I used to have my mum say, not everything's about you, Yildiz. But in your childhood, you think that maybe, you know how children are. Maybe if we just put X, Y, and Z together, it'll all be okay. And we hold that growing forward. We don't know that we do this. So when something's not going right and you've given your 100%, you really, really struggle, and you do tend to punish yourselves where you potentially shouldn't be. It doesn't mean it's forever. It means for the here and now it was out of alignment, and it's accepting and making peace with that. Now, a lot of souls are here at the moment. I've noticed that for the last, 4 or 5 weeks easy. You do need to be mindful what you're thinking. If you're going through healing and you need coaching, you can go to the link. Choose somebody to get support. This is going to be a very interesting year. Now, we all get the good and bad, no matter what, but because we have done so much work on ourselves, many of us are very tired. And so, we need to be mindful. The energy that YouTube has put into their videos, there's many hours. I'll be honest with you. For me personally, I go through maybe 12 hours of recording, sometimes double that. And that's just for the general astrology. Okay? So if something triggers you, state so. If you like the video, like the video. We come onto YouTube, and I think the benefit for me personally, there was a time through my ascension process when Twin and I broke up where I didn't want to do YouTube anymore. But the thing is, it is mutually beneficial for me, because as I grow, I share. And as you grow, I see that I somehow, through my adversity, have made a difference in another person's life. But things aren't free on YouTube, and YouTube is changing. So we had Google that was directly connected to YouTube. It's now disconnected. It's changed the algorithm. A lot of our time goes into our spiritual process, which tuning in does take a lot of energy. You find if you do 4 to 5, I can do up to 10 sessions a day, and psychically speaking, tuning in, it is physically exhausting. And then you've got the videos. So any gratitude, thumbs up and comment deeply does help the channel. When they did disconnect the Google from YouTube, the algorithm affected my channel. And I've showed my subscribers now to show the frustration and to be completely real and authentic of what the direct subscribers are, because we can't change it. It's a reality. And 9 times out of 10, what you'll find is because we're wanting to hope, we're wanting to find hope in something, we will listen to videos that potentially are giving us less harsh truth. So what I've found, especially on my ascension path, I share with you in a very real format. And that's from my perspective. It's not that it's 100% right, but it's what I've found has worked. So I can only share from my own very unique perspective. I am in union. Doesn't mean to say I'm perfect. Does not mean to say that I currently am not doing work. And I have noticed synchronistically, as other people go through things, and I do listen to singles, it still resonates, because ascension is ascension nevertheless. And purging and blocks, you have to continue working on it. The reason a lot of you are struggling at the moment, and we go into this mode and we feel, spiritually speaking, another person can help us, which the entity of relationships was very man meet woman, white picket fence, have children. In a perfect world, so much in society's changed these days. So there's divorces, there's finances, there's children that go into that situation, there's shared care. You can't be codependent these days. So if, looking at that paradigm, which is very traditional, and in a perfect world, I worked in community for 25 years. And I had some of the most beautiful elderly teachers. And I would always look at them in such awe how they had relationships that lasted so long. And they would say, Yildiz, why are you single? And I said, because they don't make them like they used to. But it's because we all spiritually have evolved and our needs are different. It was what they knew. What we know now is different. We have a mind. We have choices. We have moved into that divine feminine energy. And it's not it's right or wrong. That's Black Moon Lilith for you. There's the bad side of it too, where we had man and woman doing certain things. We now have switched into both roles being the same. And this is what we've really got to look at. I was a single parent for many years and would work. But then the energy of needing to be a provider to my child as a masculine energy in my life, and at the same time being a nurturing feminine, it was a very difficult task to balance. And this is what male energies go through too. So, in an egoic sense, especially with the Leo moon, we can have some triggers coming up where the give and take in life maybe might not be there, the balance in your work and your home might not be there, and it's really showing it very loud and clear. And so these destabilizing energies are shifting us into a different way of operating, a different way of looking at things, a different way to depend on things. What can we depend on? And we can depend on ourselves. We have the support of YouTube. We have the support of each other. We learn through other people. And we hopefully, with that information and adversity of the past, can physically take it forward to actually make good. Any questions? You're also very quiet, and I'm gas bagging away. Burning that midnight oil. How are we all? Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for the donation. But just really be gentle with yourselves. Use the moon energy to clear your house. I'll have to do a video based on how you can clear your house. I'll also give you, I'm trying to create a full moon video on top of doing the zodiac signs. That's good. I'm glad. But yeah, just kind of work, just flow through right now, okay? Don't get too triggered. We are going to be having Venus going retrograde. We're going to be having Saturn going retrograde. May is a pretty interesting month. We do have some big whammies, but this is going to teach us backbone, okay? It's more looking at things and shaking it up and changing views. It's also our communication, and it'll be unique because we're going to have Gemini and Sagittarius energy. We're going to find new ways to communicate. There'll be new energy of technology. There'll be new ways to do farming. New ways to actually save. In a green sense when it comes to technology, the way we use our food, the way we share resources, what we directly value, all of these energies will be coming up in 2020. The way we communicate, the way we look at relationships, all of these things are changing. Twin flames have actually bridged that gap for that. A lot of you guys that have already done a lot of energy on your codependent patterns, you guys are going to be watching this happen in the collective. Yildiz, how do you get over the fact that your twin is married to someone else? Can I ask you a question? Are you currently in a relationship? My daughter's on a rampage through the fridge. I hope it's her. Wow. Well, they call it a snow moon and a blood moon. Had you separated but hadn't had a divorce? I'm telling you. Good child. I can't be too long because my battery's almost flat. Hi, Mummy. I'm on YouTube, shush. She always eats. I'm on YouTube, shush. Teenagers. That's another thing. Be really mindful of your kids at the moment with the 12th house activation. If your kids are getting really tired, what can happen is energies can tag on. Kids actually have their third eye quite wide open. They don't have the ego there. So energy can actually tag on. And if you are going through an ascension, you will vibrationally be able to see things. So just clear your house, do it, full moon, new moon, keep it clear. No. I'm having my peaceful time. This is mum psychic time. Hmm? When I'm done, I'm going to bed. Okay, bye. So, were you in a separation, Dull, and you hadn't had a divorce by any chance? We were never officially like that, but still. Okay, so are you in love with an ex or are you in love with your twin? Sharing. My daughter does not like sharing. You don't like sharing, do you, Shanice? Yeah, she says it depends. She's an Aquarian. Look out for the Aquarius and so we're going to be in trouble. She's an out there person. She's like, and that's going to be the way we're all going to be. It's going to be like trying to show our funk. And people looking at us going, what are you thinking? What is that? What is that idea you've come up with? With my twin, and he said he is still in love. Yeah, but the question I'm asking is, do you have a connection that is unfinished? Have you been thinking about somebody else due to fair base frequency of this person's never going to come? Is there somebody else energetically in your realm? Like, were you connected? Have you had a separation? Do you think about that person ever if you get scared? Are you married but haven't completed a divorce? Is there any person energetically there? Separate to twin. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, Sway. It's very hard to explain twin flame path. Your twin flame path and your ascension won't stop. So it won't matter who you're with, Sway. That's part of this. You chose a path in life. You are an old soul. I do recall before I came here, and I do recall talking to someone that looked like God, and I was very frustrated. I was in a hurry. And I said to him, I have to go back. And he said, you don't have to. I said, no, we need to. We're running out of time. And it was telepathic communication. And I walked to a book and I pushed all the way to the back of this book. It was very large. And I said, that's what will work. And I stood off to an edge. It was like I was in a different hemisphere, so to speak, in space. And I went down a wormhole. And through that wormhole, I saw different galaxies. I saw different planets. And then I was born. And I recall all my life looking for somebody. Part of it is we're looking for ourselves. So this spiritual process is where you are actually coming home to self. So the healing and everything you have inside of you, when it's out of alignment, it comes up in a trigger point. You can choose to walk away from the person. But the same energy is, we get 3D. It's like we sort of feel that because we have the tag, somehow it's not real. And then we're like, oh, maybe it's bogus. It's not about that. If you think about this person and you've returned, and you continue to get triggered. I still got triggered in soulmate energies. I still got triggered into twin flame energy. I got triggered on my own because the energy and the vibration belongs to you. And you will have other people around you that if those blocks are there and twin can't work with you, it will move to the point where it will be unblocked, and then if need be, it will come through in another energy. So your soul path is your soul path. Once you reach union with self and you're at peace, that's when everything will balance out. But I do understand. Don't get me wrong. I was like crying on the floor going, okay, I have an ex, but I would never think of getting back with him. But I can't forget about my twin or get over it. How do I explain this before the phone dies? If you fear something, this is how strong the mind is. 9 times out of 10 when we have an unworthy feeling in a twin flame path, I'm just going to be real with you. Anything I feared, I co-created, which was, it was a purge. But while you are thinking of another energy and you haven't made peace with it because you are not believing in the spiritual connection between you and your twin, it holds it stagnant. So, you know, it's an energy going on inside you rather than twin being with someone or you thinking of someone. It is a vibration internally that needs to be made peace with, where you directly can cut off that other person, even in a go-to backup plan manner. But it's got to be the emotional energy where you come to terms with it. Unless you completely come to terms with it and you feel completely safe to just be alone, that everything will be okay. You know, what are your beliefs about relationships? That's an important part too. A lot of our old beliefs, which is part of the twin flame path, we cannot be codependent. It's, you know, we want babies. We want to have the white picket fence. We believe that when we're in a connection, it's very humanistic. That's the only way I can describe it. But while we have that inside us, it's a bit like, I'll give you an example. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. No sooner did they break up because there was an imbalance, did her career rise. When you place too much focus on an energy, you are placing no focus onto self. And part of the soul path is to focus all your energy back onto you. Even within union, I find if I put too much energy onto my twin, I am paying no attention to myself and things will become imbalanced. So I have to shift all the energy back onto me. That is with everything. It's with finances. It's with my spiritual growth. It is with trigger points. And it's also with my love and the things that I love doing. And if I don't shift my energy onto me, imbalances occur. Food for thought. Otherwise, if you do want me to delve deeper into it, feel free to book a reading or I'll come and see you guys soon. Just wanted to come to you guys to give you these updated messages. Love and light. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for commenting. The comments actually share it in analytics. And I'll see you guys later.